called out PEGI for the hypocrisy of Balatro's 18+ rating system, saying, maybe I should add microtransactions / loot boxes / real gambling to lower that age rating to 3+, like EA Sports Football Club. Hello everyone and welcome back to the 100th episode of PandTha Talks.
At last, we have finally made it.
Ironically, literally the weekend after the bloody 2-year anniversary of our channel.
That would have been good if it was like on the 2-year.
It would have been, but we don't record on that day, which is a bit awkward. So if I remember right, it's either the 13th or the 15th. I think it's the 15th, you know.
We're close enough. We're close enough.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, we're pretty damn close, I've got to say. Let me have a quick check. So, yes, it's the 15th of Jan, so the Wednesday. But yeah, it's the following on from the 2-year anniversary. So, hey, 2 years in, 100 episodes in. Crazy to even think about, to be honest with you.
Yep.
But we have some interesting things to discuss this week. Considering it's the beginning of the year, usually we get like all the bad news, all those things that they couldn't fit into 2024. I keep forgetting we're in 2025. All that little bits and bats. So we have some bits to go over. Some of it's good, some of it's a bit not so. But for the most part, we have some interesting things to cover nonetheless.
We've gotten used to last year that there's no matter what going to be something not good.
Yeah. I mean, I think I've only got one negative this time.
Oh, you say this a lot.
Yeah, it's looking like it. Okay. So we've got something to do with Nvidia and their new AI assistant they're planning to release called G-Assist.
Oh, I can't remember what you sent me now.
There we go. We'll be also covering a possibility of a new Ghost Recon game that's possibly releasing soon.
Rory is definitely a fan of.
I love the Ghost Recon series. After that, we'll be discussing some cuts. Sadly, they come every year, and January is about that time. After that, we'll be discussing how Xbox may have more than one surprise at the Developer Direct this year, which is some positive news. After that, Ubisoft and Tencent could create a new venture as part of a major change, which I suppose is
at this rate, Ubisoft's not going to be doing anything.
Well, I suppose that might be one of the only ways that Ubisoft can stay going.
Literally.
Nintendo lawyer explains why the company believes some emulators are illegal. And finally, we finally have the answer to the age-old question of why when someone made a PC, someone else would respond, but yeah, can it run Crysis? The Crysis director has come out and said it was so hard to run the game, and it became a meme because the high settings were actually meant for future systems. So why some of these future systems that are out there for some reason still refuse to run this game, I do not know. But anyways, let's move on to some interesting news. And we also have one other thing to cover, but we can cover that later. I'll remember it. So Project G-Assist, an AI assistant for GeForce RTX AI PCs to come to Nvidia app in February, so just next month from now. There's a photo that released. I'm not going to go daft into basically like what it does, what it can do. There's some videos here that'll show the differences, what you can actually utilize it for. We're gonna mute the audio as always, but as we can see here, is G-Sync on? Yes, G-Sync's enabled on the display and is connected to G-Sync mode on full screen only. Can you analyze the performance? Working on it. and then the AI will go ahead and do that for them. Let's diagnose your system's performance. FPS 55, GPU utilization 97%. The game is running full screen, display refresh rate is 240 Hz. Frame rate limiter is disabled, high efficiency mode is disabled, performance is GPU limited. I also recommend lower in-game image quality settings, overclock the GPU, consider lowering your resolution, set Nvidia DLSS frame generation to on. So you can ask it basically why your system isn't working up to spec. It can give you graphs on basically how it's running, what's the problem with it, stuff like that. So for someone like Will, who adores looking at his task manager every 5 seconds to make sure it's running at normal frames and things, it'll be pretty
Hey man,
useful.
I've got the video overlay as well. You know.
Yeah. I
It's
mean,
much easier.
there was a photo though that I'm looking for here. Was it this? What are my system specs? No, it doesn't look to be. There was a photo that came with this. I'd like to pull it up, but it seems like it's only the link for it. So the photo that I saw was basically, and I think I sent to you on Facebook as well.
Probably was the one you sent me.
Yeah, here it is. It was a screenshot I took. So you can actually say, can you help me improve my frame rate, as an example? And in this photo, what it says is, let's diagnose your system's performance. FPS is at 92, PC latency is at 30 milliseconds. I've removed your frame rate limiter. I've overclocked your GPU by 60 megahertz. I recommend turning on DLSS multi-frame generation in-game. Now, one of the big scary things I do have of this, obviously there's going to be limitations on what the AI can do, because they don't want it to just turn around all of a sudden and fry someone's PC, because you are giving it a lot of control.
Yep.
But it could also make it for those people who are hesitant to overclock a GPU, which is understandable. It can make it a lot easier and make it so that they're not as worried about it, because something with preset basically systems and tells them exactly what they can do, what they can't do, how far it can go, all that sort of stuff will do it for them. It'll make people a bit more confident, to be honest, I think. So we might see people in the next few months suddenly starting to shoot up in frame and not struggling as much, which would be interesting.
It is going to help, and even just getting a better understanding of how your system performs as well. You're going to sort of learn what settings to turn on and what to turn off.
Yeah. I mean, as I said, for someone like yourself who loves looking at the in-depth and trying to pay attention to what's going on with it and all that sort of stuff, this could be a big system for you.
Yeah, because I wanna have everything looking as nice as it can, but obviously I don't have the greatest system, so it can't run at the best that it can.
No.
But at the same time, I want to keep a decent frame rate.
Not exactly. Huh. Graph my CPU and GPU use. That's very interesting. There's an interactive graph as well. What the hell? That's a very nifty system. Cool. I do quite like it. GSS can even control select peripherals. What the hell? Right, so it just basically fits and works with everything. Turn down my fan speed.
Seems like it.
Okay. Fascinating. So yeah,
I think there's a lot more to this than we know.
Yeah, definitely is the case. It's an on-device AI as well, so it won't require any payment whatsoever. GSys runs on your GeForce RTX GPU. This means it is responsive, free to use, and can run offline.
That itself is crazy.
Yeah, it's always good to have, to be honest.
It's not a DLC, Rory.
Yeah. It's not paid DLC. We're not getting charged out the ass to get access to an AI. Don't get me wrong, it won't answer stupid questions, but it'll do things related to your device and your home systems. That's what you want at the end of the day. What's the point in anything further? Under the hood, G-Assist uses LAN-based instrument model. Yeah, basically this is just further AI information. But yeah, it's primarily focused to run on any RTX hardware. So as long as you've got an RTX card, you should be able to utilize this system. When G-Assist is prompted for help, say to optimize graphics settings or check GPU temperatures, the RTX GPU briefly allocates a portion of its horsepower to AI interface. During those few seconds, a short dip in render rate may occur if you're gaming or running another GPU-heavy application. Understandable, to be fair. Once G-Assist finishes its task, the GPU returns to delivering full performance to the Gain and More app. That's completely understandable at the end of the day. You're going to be utilising the GPU for it, so yeah.
If I'm not mistaken as well, is it 20 series and up is RTX?
Yeah, that's completely right.
And then below 20 series is all GTX.
Yeah, that's correct. So, anything 20 and up, which 9 out of 10 people nowadays have got 20 series and upwards.
Yeah, if you've got... I'm calling out my friend Alex here. If you've got anything under a 20 series, what are you doing, man?
Yeah, call him out.
Bro's still running a 1660 Super.
To be fair, the 1660 Super...
It does well. I'll give it to you. It definitely does its job, but fucking hell, it's so outdated now.
It's definitely starting to show its age.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah, with what's coming out in the past couple of years, it's definitely not up to that sort of level. But it still does what it needs to, and it does it well. So
yeah,
I can't complain. And it's a lot cheaper of a card for that reason. It's not running RTX.
Well,
so
you're not really going to be able to get your hands on them anymore.
I'm not too sure about the 1660s.
I'm sure there's probably some of them still floating around, but I'd say give enough time. And they'll definitely start to drop off. Oh, of course you can get them on Amazon. You can get anything on Amazon.
You can't get a 20 series card on Amazon.
Really? There's no
Seriously.
way. I don't believe you.
Give me a second.
You do what you're doing. I can browse. I can browse for it.
Right. So let's go.
All right, well, there's a 2060 6 gig GDDR6 for
Is that brand new?
No featured offers available though. One new offer.
Yeah. That means basically you can't get one that's like brand new. Yep. You can only get 30 and above.
Super.
I don't know what it is. You can only get 30 and above on Amazon.
Yeah, they all have no featured offers available.
I've got one here, but I believe, if I am correct, this will be doing exactly the same as before.
It seems that any of them you're getting, if you're just getting the shit out card, you're essentially going to be taken to an external website.
Yeah.
And we all know how we all feel about those.
Yeah, too true. But no, it was something I realised a while back. I could be wrong, but for the most part, I do remember when I've been looking for 20 series cards as of late, I really couldn't find any. The only things I could find were 30 and above. So,
yeah. From what you were looking at, the only way you're really going to get one is if you get just a full PC.
That's also a possibility because there are gaming PCs on there. I have to say gaming very lightly regarding that, to be honest.
What in the fuck is that?
What? What in the fuck is what?
I need to send you this link and I need you to explain to me what the fuck I'm looking at.
Okay. Go ahead.
It's in research.
Ah, fantastic. Holy shit, that is a very long link.
I don't know what.
I've got to, in private browser this shit. There we go. Don't want to be logged into my Amazon. Ooh. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I forgot about these.
What the fuck are those ports, man? What even goes in there?
Those, if I do remember correctly, those are mere display. Those are mere display ports. Basically, it's meant for 8K. Oh, actually, just there. Low profile, 4x mere display port, 8K support.
Jesus, man. That looks so
That
weird.
thing. Oh, these things are really weird. I can't really
Tell me about it.
I can't really explain them completely, but they're more for professional use. They're not for gaming. You'd expect to see them like if you're doing graphics rendering, any sort of modeling, that sort of stuff. So, that sort of
What?
style of things.
Oh my god.
Well, what do you keep finding?
I found a GT 1030. It's a one fan graphics card.
Yeah, there's a few of them.
It looks awful.
Yeah, they typically do, mate. It's how they work,
Yeah. Honestly, the new cards, even like basically 20 series and up, they look good. They all look
Oh,
good.
yeah. So, new Ghost Recon game leaked, releasing soon.
Now, I know you're going to be very much looking forward to diving into this one.
Well, you know me and Tom Clancy games, mate. As a prime example of this, if I just type in Tom Clancy, or CLA, this is all my Tom Clancy game collection on
Maybe I
Steam.
was wrong. Maybe you don't like Tom Clancy.
Well, this is just on Steam. This is excluding anything on Ubisoft. So, a new Tom Clancy, a new Ghost Recon game has been leaked online, and apparently it's going to release soon. So the Ghost Recon games have been out for a long time, to be honest. November 13th, 2001. Release of a game of the same name on PC at first, but eventually Xbox, PS2, and the GameCube as well. Not heard of the GameCube in a long time, especially in an article.
Good old GameCube, man.
I think it's been over a year since we've actually mentioned them.
My first console.
What was my first? Depends. Are we talking about first or oldest?
Both for me.
So for me, the first console I played was the PS1, but the oldest was a Atari.
I've never. Well, I guess I probably played something like that when I went to that gaming bar in Manchester. They had a lot of old stuff there.
Oh yeah, they do.
But I wouldn't really consider that as actually playing it like fully, because it's like just one game you play on it basically.
Oh no, my dad owned one for a long time, and I ended up playing it for a bit with him. It was great. Learned a lot then. Since then, there have been 14 Ghost Recon releases when you count both games and expansions. Why would you count expansions? I'll never get that. However, over time, the releases have slowed down. At one point, at its peak, Ghost Recon games were flooding the market. In the last 8 years, though, there have only been 2 games, Ghost Recon Wildlands and Ghost Recon BreakPoint. I actually enjoyed both of them. BreakPoint was pretty crap at release, but with all the updates they've done, it's a lot more enjoyable. So apparently, Ubisoft, from the sounds of things, have been working on this in secret, and it's going to release soon. According to Tom Henderson, a new Ghost Recon game, Ghost Recon Over, has been in the works at Ubisoft. It's unclear if it's a code name or the final name of the game. Whatever the case, the game is supposedly releasing before the end of 2026, so it should be revealed as early as this year, or at the very least, early next year. Unfortunately, Henderson does not divulge into any further details, potential reveal date, or anything else. So it's very unlikely that we're going to hear much else at the moment, but you know what? I'm just happy to hear that a Ghost Recon game's actually in development again.
I don't really remember any of them, to be honest. I remember way younger seeing them. I don't remember whether or not I actually played it, or if I was like, I don't know. It's that long ago. And it would have been like one of the much older ones.
See, the reason I like these ones, though, These ones were really enjoyable to me because you're basically just given them an entire island and just told, right, your job is to take down this entire group. You've got enemies constantly. You've got all sorts of sub-objectives. Go out, do main missions, do side missions, do whatever you want. Just make sure you're clearing objectives of enemies. Bye. And you get much better at it. And it's definitely a tactical experience. BreakPoint, down the line, BreakPoint did it better. But that's because they added, like, whereas Wildlands was more like a militia of an armed gang, BreakPoint was going up against heavily geared, futuristic soldiers and all sorts of crap. It was insanity. Apparently, me and two friends are actually planning to go back to this at some point soon. But at the moment, we're focusing on the Division 2, which I also enjoy the Division games. Sadly, as we discussed, I think, a few weeks back, the Division's next game, which was supposed to be Heartland, I believe it was, got cancelled, which pretty sad. Pretty sad.
Seen that with a lot of our favorite games over the course of the last year.
Yeah, sadly, not much that we can really do on that one, is there? It's kind of annoying. So Huge, a games company apparently, have cut their staff by 122, or I believe that was 29% of their staff. But what do they actually do? Casinos. Seems like gambling.
Really?
Yeah, it's just gambling.
Speaking of gambling, actually, do you happen to remember the name of the winner of Best Indie Game 2024? The card game called Balatro.
Yeah, Balatro. I remember it.
I believe it was actually rated 18 in the EU because they claimed that it instigates gambling and encourages gambling.
That wouldn't
shock because it's you're trying to get as many chips as you can to beat the level, basically.
That would not shock. You know what? So pretty much, yeah, they're losing 29% of its workforce. I don't really think you can call this game development when it's a casino.
No,
it's just gambling.
No,
I flat out refuse. Why it's been then put on mobile gaming.biz, I do not know, but whatever. Balatro. Age rating 18 plus.
Yep.
In the UK as well.
Yeah. Crazy.
Balatro creator points out the hypocrisy of unexpected PEGI rating. This was actually in December. We should have caught this sooner. Shortly after celebrating the success of Balatro at the Game Awards, the game's creator, Local Thunk, is calling out PEGI for switching the game's rating to 18 plus earlier in the year. The highest age rating that PEGI can give, and by far the highest rating Balatro has received from any ratings board. A rating of 18 plus classifies Balatro as a game that's only available for adults, and restricts minors from legally purchasing the game in the UK, though there are obviously ways around those restrictions. Yeah. We'll not talk about how many times we played games that were set for 18, a lot younger than 18, shall we? In a post from Local Thunk on Twitter, the creator of Balatro has called out PEGI for the hypocrisy of Balatro's 18 plus rating system, saying, "Maybe I should add microtransactions / loot boxes / real gambling to lower that age rating to 3 plus, like EA Sports Football Club." You know what? I'm not even against that statement. Specifically referring to EA Sports Football Club 2025's 3 plus PEGI rating, notably Football Club 25, despite being a full-price game, also includes a heavy focus on in-game microtransactions, encouraging players to spend additional money on a premium currency, Football Club points, which can be used for in-game purchases, including random card packs. That's insanity. That is actually insanity.
Yeah.
You know what, though? They make a very, very fair point. Because, yeah, this is... What? It's a game all about gambling, sure. But is it going to cost anything to anyone? No. The reason they've probably done it is because they're like, oh, yeah, but it might addict people to gambling. Yeah, but wouldn't you want them to play a game like that that's going to prevent them from actually spending money? That's my view on it, at least. I know it's a bit of a devil's advocate, but that's the way I sort of look at it. But no, I
It's
find it
just the same
very
as like
interesting.
anything else when it comes to gaming. You need to just keep it virtual.
Mm,
Like that's it's not as real.
yeah, I mean, it was like that for a very long time until microtransactions. Dun dun
Yep.
dun. Xbox might have more than one surprise at Developer Direct. When is the Developer Direct, actually? January 23rd. So, in literally 4 days. Next Thursday. Well, that's pretty cool. I might actually so I'll watch that for a bit. So the next Xbox Developer Direct may feature more than one surprise, according to a well-known Microsoft insider. This prediction is consistent with Microsoft's track record, which always saw the company showcase more games than what have been so far been confirmed for the 2025 edition of the upcoming Xbox event. Typically, as well, whatever they seem to announce early in the year, the way they seem to do it is like that's what's coming for that year, maybe early next year. And that's like the ways they typically do it. Which, it'd be very interesting if they did. The third ever Xbox Developer Direct is scheduled for January 23rd. This announcement was accompanied by a list of 3 games that will be featured at the show. South of Midnight, Doom the Dark Ages, and Claire Obscure Expedition 33. Every member of this trio has previously been confirmed as targeting a 2025 launch, but is still waiting for a concrete release date, which may be announced at the January 23rd release. No, you're not allowed to do that shit again. You can't just put question marks. Surprise game. Fuck off. Then Jez puts maybe more than one surprise too. Who knows? We might finally hear something about the Elder Scrolls 6.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe
I'm
when the
hoping
60
for
series gets
miracles.
released.
Yeah, the 60 series will probably be out sooner.
And then they'll finally give a release date and say that it'll require 70 series to run.
Yeah.
So, you can expect to wait at least 5 years, I'd say.
So why are you making it so that we need a 70 series card to run the Elder Scrolls 6? Blame the modders. They always
Well, you
kind of go
see,
way too well on it, so...
just the base game without any mods is you can expect to be the size of planet Earth itself. Then the modders
Yeah.
are gonna go in and add like the size of 3 planet Earths for more fucking gameplay, and yeah, soon enough you'll be needing an 80 series.
Yeah, so we're just trying to make it so that it at least utilizes enough. You know, we want to make it at least runnable when the modders start fucking about. But no, I think it'll be quite interesting to see what these other games are. I'll probably have a watch of this because, as I said, that is next week that's going to happen. So whatever it is, we can discuss next Sunday too, which would be pretty cool. I remember seeing the Expedition 33, but I can't remember much about it. Doom the Dark Ages, you and me saw as we covered the Xbox Showcase last year in, I think it was about August time.
Man, all I keep seeing about Doom is just people trying to figure out what they can run it on.
Yeah, the original Dooms.
I've seen the original Doom being ran on just the absolute stupidest things. I'm pretty sure I've seen it on an ultrasound as well.
Yes, you have.
There's another ridiculous one that I saw recently as well.
Hmm?
Run on a potato. I'm sick.
It's a calculator powered by potatoes.
Oh man. How far technology has come, hmm?
Yeah. £100 of mouldy potatoes. You know what? Seeing as you brought it up, things Doom has run on.
The price of
Pregnancy
top
test.
search. An
Ultrasound.
ATM. Imagine
Yeah.
you're waiting in line for an ATM and you just start hearing Doom sounds. Like, what the fuck's going on there, man?
Camera.
Chocolate
Porsche.
Doom. What the hell's chocolate Doom?
That's the ATM. Graphics calculator. Pregnancy test. Thermostat. That's like
Oh
one
my
of
god,
them
is that a watch or
smartwatches. Yeah.
something? Yeah.
Nintendo 64. Is that? No. Don't know what that is. Game
Don't,
&
don't,
Watch. No idea.
careful showing that, we might get sued.
I do want to smash that printer just because it's a printer, but that's cool. I like that.
Yeah, fuck printers, man.
Camera. I still haven't found the chocolate one though.
We've been lied to.
It does feel that way, doesn't it?
What the hell?
Doom inside a GZ Doom arcade machine. So you're playing Doom in Doom. Commodore 64, MP3 player,
We've
digital
gone down a
camera,
rabbit hole.
piano, Half-Life 2. I haven't got the chocolate Doom though. I'm confused.
Is chocolate Doom?
Oh, it's just old Doom. Got you.
Oh. Well, I'm severely disappointed now.
Yeah. Porsche 911.
Why not?
We didn't
What
see
was the
that
cause of the
notice.
crash? He was playing
Oh.
Doom on his Porsche.
It's been in Outer Wilds, another game. iPod Classic, Amazon Fire TV Stick, Samsung All-in-One Washer, Porsche 911, parking kiosk,
Why is this a thing? Like,
microwave,
oh, microwave.
Nintendo DS,
What was that
Minecraft,
explosion? Was it something in the game, or was it my food behind it blowing up?
treadmill, ticket validator, vape,
Oh no! Don't let you see
iPod
that one.
Mini,
A
karaoke machine.
karaoke machine. I feel like that's a lie.
It does look that way, doesn't it? There's not much information there. Pregnancy test, thermostat, MacBook Pro touch bar.
Oh my
That's
goodness!
a very old phone for that. Okay, Apple Watch,
A fucking
chainsaw.
chainsaw. That's a fake chainsaw.
Yeah, but still, NES Classic, Sonic Mania, Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind.
Not surprising.
You know what? Yeah, I think that's the end of that conversation right there. Because Jesus, you know,
Go on all day.
if
Just
you ever
finding
want,
more and more.
yeah, if you ever want to just go down a rabbit hole, just search that, and you will find some crazy things. It's very fascinating, though. I must admit, very fascinating. Definitely not what I anticipated either. I must admit that. Ubisoft and Tencent could create a new venture as part of a major change. I wonder if this is so that Ubisoft then still has some money coming in, considering,
Yeah,
Tencent just buy people out all the time. So
they're getting
Ubisoft,
desperate.
oh yeah, 100% there. Ubisoft and Tencent are said to be evaluating which assets to include in a new potential venture. A new report may contain fresh clues about the apparent partnership between Ubisoft and Tencent. Ubisoft's fortunes continue to slide, and the company looks for a way forward. Bloomberg reported that Tencent and Ubisoft are considering, among other options, creating a new venture that could include certain Ubisoft assets. So certain titles pulled from Ubisoft to be created by this alternate company. Okay. The overall aim is to improve the company's value, sources said. The two companies are now evaluating which assets to include in a new entity and their valuation. The report said, citing anonymous sources. You know what I think you guys should do? Pass all the Tom Clancy stuff over to them. You guys just do your Assassin's Creed shit and just die over there. And just give the Tom Clancy stuff to someone else. A new team, and they can just breathe the breath of new life into it, you know? I think that'd be interesting.
I love how you just told them to go die in a corner.
Right. Is there anyone on the internet that doesn't want that? Like, at this point with what they've done? I feel like, you know, I'm not asking for too much.
I'm just waiting for Assassin's Creed, man. That's it.
Assassin's Creed Shadows.
I just need to see how bad it goes. I gotta know.
Give me a
When's
second.
it released now? March?
March? 20th of March.
Oh,
so
still
got
long.
2 months. Apparently we got some new gameplay, which is interesting. I'm just gonna mute this but wow, it just looks more like more bloody what do you call it? What's the word?
Another game that we
Valhalla and shit like that. Okay, so you got the stealthy person.
Oh my god, why does the character look so bad there?
I don't know. I've got no idea who this person is that's talking about it, but yeah. Basically, it's... Oh, look, they took the Ghost of Tsushima style of mapping. Cool. Whatever. I have zero interest when it comes to that at this point. Should a deal come together, Tencent could gain more control over some of Ubisoft's franchises, the report said, adding that Tencent would also benefit from improving its own business results outside of China. They side own like 95% of gaming companies at this point. Like, come on. I don't like them for it, but they do. Sources told Bloomberg that no final decisions have been made and that conversations remain ongoing. None of this should be surprising either, as Ubisoft said on January 9th that it had appointed advisors to examine opportunities for Ubisoft to maximise the value of its company through a variety of possible business maneuvers. In a conference call, though, Ubisoft declined to comment on the reported Tencent discussions, which date back many months. I still think they should just hand off all the Tom Clancy stuff. A spokesperson for Tencent declined to comment as well. Okay. During a conference call, Ubisoft CEO Goliath said that he sees several potential paths for the company and the franchises going forward to maximize shareholder value. It was previously reported that Ubisoft was considering numerous different possibilities for its future, including selling to Tencent. On a call, Ubisoft declined to comment on the report of the company potentially selling to Tencent, but the management said it's exploring different options, adding, "We can't say more." We already knew this, but this was already pretty well known. So, we get to the fun bit, where Nintendo, all these years later, finally have to discuss emulation. This should be interesting.
They feel about it, huh?
Nintendo lawyer explains why the company believes some emulators are illegal. Which only means that some are, not all of them.
Exactly.
It's taken a very long time for them to even come to the admission of this. Few gaming publishers are more fiercely protective of their IP than Nintendo. In the past year alone...
You said that wrong. None of them are.
Yeah. In the past year alone, Nintendo has reportedly cracked down on YouTube emulator channels that featured the company's games and played detective to locate and identify an alleged Switch pirate. During a recent appearance at an event run by Japan's Association of Copyright for Computer Software, Nintendo's patent attorney Koji Nishiura, took the time to walk through the company's stance on emulation. That this is going to be so awkward. Because apparently it's been translated by someone. So this will be interesting. As reported by this person and translated by Automaton, Nishiura suggested that the emulators by themselves may not be illegal, but the way they can be used can determine if they are breaking the law. To illustrate his point, Nishiura noted that emulators may copy proprietary programs or disable security encryptions, both of which are activities that Nintendo frowns upon. He also said that emulators can be used to play pirated copies of Nintendo's games, which the company still considers to be illegal. Not to sound rotten to Nintendo here, I obviously do want to, but not to in this case. They can claim as much as they want that they consider it to be illegal. Whether the court system considers it to be illegal is what matters. What Nintendo believe isn't anything. It doesn't matter to anyone. At the end of the day, they do not make the laws. They do not enforce them.
Hey,
they
man,
can take
they
someone to
will
court.
damn well try their best to.
Oh yeah, they will try, but what they consider illegal doesn't really matter in this instance. Nintendo has emulated several of its own games for modern consoles, which clearly falls within the company's rights. However, many classic games released on the oldest system, including NES, SNES, Nintendo 64, and GameCube, aren't readily available to legally play from Nintendo itself. Some emulator hosts have argued that by maintaining a library of these games, they are preserving a piece of video game history. Unsurprisingly, Nintendo doesn't seem to share that view. Although the company is laser focused on shutting down Switch and 3DS emulators, it also prevented the Dolphin, GameCube and Wii emulator from launching on Steam. Additionally, Nintendo sued the creators of a Switch emulator and contended that The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom was pirated 1 million times before launch. Even though the reveal of the Switch 2 may come as soon as this week, Nintendo isn't likely to stop after going after emulator creators anytime soon. They really
Dude,
don't
that's
like them.
rough.
Yeah.
That's rough.
The thing is, they mention all this. I'm very surprised when they mentioned how they're fiercely protective over their IP that they didn't mention the Pal World debacle. I honestly expected it. But yeah, they've also announced the Switch 2. Something that, yes, we probably should mention, but I'm very iffy on whether to even bring it up.
What's even going on with it? Like, what's it do?
We don't know.
Other than the sticks already drift.
We don't know. This is a trailer. Oh wait, no, sorry. This is Video Game Donkey. Let me just. Here we go. 2 minutes 22 seconds. First look trailer.
Colors are gross as well.
Oh, that's the original.
No, the new one. Don't they have like a nasty looking pink?
No. You'll see. This is the entire trailer. And I have a lot I'd actually like to mention about this. But, it's starting to look more and more like they've just kind of gone, well, the Steam Deck looked pretty good.
I don't get this either. I like, why do you have a stand for it?
Some people like them stood up in places. This is the only thing they've done.
Like, nasty looking pink.
I guess.
Gross. It looks awful.
I'm surprised they didn't keep it their orange.
The blue's alright.
But yeah, we have no idea about specs. We have no idea about release date. We have no idea about a price point. All that we know is pretty much it's coming, and that they've got a sort of event going on in April.
Looks
yeah.
ridiculous with just those two little bits of color on it.
Yep.
And it's not even like a seamless connection. You can see the fucking connections through the sides.
So, Mario Kart. Cool.
Wow.
And a dock to the TV, as always. No, and a controller. Cool. Well, that's all we know. Oh yeah, also, it does have a slot for cartridges. Plays Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive games as well as Nintendo Switch games. You can do it all through either the online, digital, or physical. Games and systems sold separately. Okay.
Yeah, and not all the first Nintendo Switch games will work on the Nintendo Switch 2 either.
Yeah.
It was
So this is all we know. It's to be honest, that's the bit that's annoyed me.
It's nothing to go off of.
Yeah, there's no details, and that is the bit that kind of annoyed me.
They have a link there. Does that give anything?
Learn more. Go to site, please. Come on, Nintendo, you can do it.
Is that it?
There's no
Is
scroll.
That
Watch video.
Alright, skip this bitch.
First
it's
look,
literally
skip.
just the
Oh, here we
thing
go.
just watched.
Here we go.
Wow. It's the trailer again. Wow, it's the trailer again.
Wow,
yeah. It's the trailer again.
That's it. That's everything.
Where's the more information? Where's the learn more?
This, apparently.
4th of the 2nd.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, other way around. 2nd of the 4th.
2nd of the 4th, 2025. So, yeah, you've got to wait,
3 months. 2.5 months.
3 and a bit months. So, good luck.
What
Enjoy.
the hell?
But yeah. Welcome to Nintendo.
Jesus.
You can see why I was a bit agitated when I heard about it. Because all I could think is, alright, what are the specs? Everyone's just there. We don't know.
What is anything?
What's the price? No idea. When's it release? Not a clue. So why the fuck are people covering it? I know a lot of people are very excited for it, but all I can think is, what the fuck? Just give us something. Don't wait. Don't just go, oh yeah, look, we're releasing this. Yeah, but what about anything about it? We'll tell you.
They're trying to build up hype and anticipation for it. But it's there's nothing there to hype. It's a grosser looking version of the first Nintendo.
Yeah, it's just that thing though. Just we'll tell you in 3 months. Okay, so no details for 3 months. Yeah, that's about right. Okay, thanks Nintendo. Just remember, everyone bow down to their Lord and Saviour Nintendo. Anyways. Crysis. Some good old-fashioned bits. I used to love Crysis. I actually still go back to it sometimes. But the biggest meme out there was always, even when I got my first PC, a friend of mine turned around and went, yeah, but does it run Crysis? So I bought Crysis for that entire reason. And I tried it, and I actually really got into it. The third one was really enjoyable for me. As part of a larger retrospective on Crysis in issue 405 of PC Gamer magazine, blah, 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 Crysis director and Crytek founder, Savat Yerol, shared his thoughts on the "Can it run Crysis" meme, as well as what he believes led to the most enduring aspect of the 2007 shooter's legacy. So yeah, 2007 this thing released. And it caused so many issues for people.
We're on 18 years.
Yep.
By the way.
I wanted to make sure Crysis does not age. That it is future-proofed. Nowadays, we're trying to future-proof our PCs, not our games. Meaning that if I played it 3 years from now, it should look better than today. Yerel said, Crysis, the highest graphic settings were designed with the hardware of 2010 and beyond in mind. According to Yerel, and to flick them on in 2007 was an act of hubris. A lot of people tried to maximize Crysis immediately, he said, and I'm like, oh, that's not why we built the Ultra mode or very high. Yerel might be underselling Crysis's graphical brutality just a bit, though. In a 2020 retrospective video, Digital Foundry writers John Lineman and Alex, I can't say his last name, found a more or less permanent home in the sub 30 FPS range, playing Crysis on a 2007 era powerful system at high settings. And with the decidedly retro resolution of 1168 by 665,
Absolutely gross.
the high settings may have been best left to the future PCs then. And depending on your budget, maybe check medium and low in there too. But it seems all good. But it's all in good fun. That's a big part of Crysis's legend, after all. Yerl himself seems to appreciate the continued popularity of Crysis as a mimetic, sometimes still serious, measure of gaming horsepower. It was this ambivalent kind of meme that was good and bad, but I actually enjoyed it. Last year, Jensen or Huang for Nvidia announced a new GPU, and they said yes, it can still run. It can run Crysis. That's the thing. People loved this when it was happening, and I do remember the Crysis times quite well. But I remember this specific thing because they announced a Crysis remaster, and it was like the re-emergence of the "Can it run Crysis" meme. Like, I wonder if there's any photos of it still, because there were some PCs that just couldn't do it. And the thing is, it wasn't like the greatest looking game in the world, but it was still pretty good looking.
It doesn't look half bad from these screenshots.
Like, this is the thing, and this is the remaster, obviously, but it plays like an old game. But bloody hell, it still to this day looks pretty damn good, I must admit. You can tell that there's some, but yeah, it looks pretty nice for what it is.
You know what, though? It still looks better than a lot of the games released this year.
Do you mean last year?
Last year, whatever.
Concord.
Over the last year. How about that, then, dickhead?
Over the last year. So we got Concord, Skull and Bones. You know what, is Skull and Bones still going?
You're not allowed to mention Skull and Bones. We're in a new year.
I've not had a signing thing put against me yet. Our community manager is not making me sign anything as of the moment, so I'm okay.
143 players in game. They must be really bored.
Out of mild curiosity. So over the last week, they hit 209 players as a peak. What about over the last month? Nearly 300. What about over the last 3 months?
Go.
408. That's the highest.
Massive numbers.
Oh, wait, no. All-time peak. So if I go max.
For a day.
Yeah.
For a day.
2,615. Dropped down. Then went back up to just over 2K. Dropped down. Just over 1,300. Dropped down. Just over 900. And constantly going all the way down. And this is where we are now. So, yeah. But talk about a gain and loss. Like, damn. So, yeah. This is Skull and Bones. It's what was anticipated. You know what? I'm curious if that player's still there. Oh, no, he's finally gone. Finally gone. When was the last time they logged in? 12th of January.
A week ago.
How do you keep getting on, dude? How? Oh, wait, there was two.
He got a friend on.
How do they do this, honestly? I'm very intrigued. But yeah. I mean, what else do you expect, honestly? So yeah, it's a bit of a crazy first, proper run back into the year. We had last week and then we got this week, and I'm hoping there should be some interesting stuff to come though this year. It sounds like there are a few things planned. We've got the Xbox developer showcase next week, so that'll be interesting. I'll probably have a watch of that and update, see if there's anything there for us to discuss.
But surely, Roy, surely it can't be any worse than 2024, right?
Well, you and me quite enjoyed the 2024 Xbox showcase. It was the only one
mean,
we actually
this
enjoyed.
year in general.
Yeah, 2024 in general was pretty bad. It was,
but like everything over the course of this year that's gonna happen. Surely it can't be worse than last year, right?
I mean, so far we're starting out a bit better than we did last year. By this time,
great start.
Yours, sir.
With the Switch 2, what a great start.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, that's still an improvement on 2 years ago when the game I cannot mention released. That was actually roughly this time of that year, which is the insane part to me. Then we had Skull and Bones. I think it was February that released.
You know what? The true question is then,
what
game this year is going to be your hated game?
That is
what
the big
will we
question.
See released?
What are we gonna? Yeah, 13th of Feb. That's the other thing. 2022. Sorry, 2023. It was the game I can't mention. But that was in January. I was very close. That was in January release. Last year it was Skull and Bones, and that was in 2020. That was in February. So I think the game that releases is going to be in March if we're going on standard at this point.
Interesting.
So I think we're going to be seeing.
Does that mean a decade down the line, when we have to wait till December? Does that mean after that release, will we get a year where there's not a hated game?
I think you're hoping for a bit too much. Or we might have a year where it's just, I hate every game.
Oh no.
You know, that it could
dangerous.
Go either way. It really could be either way.
Every week starting the recording, I'm just immediately depressed because I know what's coming.
Oh look, there's a new fucking shit game releasing that's made and is filled with microtransactions and the developers don't care. It's all made with
it's
AI.
This game's uncle.
Yeah.
The week after that, it's this game's uncle's cousin. The week after that,
it's this game's uncle's cousin's pig's nephew. But no, with all positivity and all hope, we should hope.
Yes, you're so full of positivity.
Yeah, I know, right? It's almost like
I fear Sundays. I fear Sundays.
No, you don't. You love talking to me. Don't know what you're on about. And yes, I've made that decision for you.
I don't even need to say anything.
Exactly. But no, with all hope, the rest of this year should hopefully be much better. If there is a bad release, I will hunt you.
They're not unavoidable.
No, but I will hunt it down.
But can we at least get better releases this year?
Yeah, if there's any good releases, I'm also going to hunt those down.
Hang on a minute.
But there is a game I'm looking forward to actually next month. I can't remember what it was. I know I'm looking forward to something that's going to be releasing some point soon. Oh yeah, Spider-Man 2 on the PC. That's definitely one. That releases, I think it's February? No, 30th of Jan.
Second day this month.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. There's a few other bits that are on their way out as well on PC, so there should be some good stuff. Guaranteed there'll be some dog shit. Always is. But with all hope, we can have some damn good games released this year and we can chill the hell out.
Lots and lots of hope.
I'm trying to be hopeful. I mean, I'm really hoping that the bad game that releases this year is not going to be Mafia the Old Country, because I would cry.
They don't have a estimated release time, just 2025.
2025. That's all we know.
I think you're in the clear.
Yeah, I'm
We
hoping
would
so.
know by now if it was going to be released in March.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that. I mean, bloody the Switch didn't even know they were releasing this year until,
They still don't know they're releasing that.
no, but they're absolutely baffled, honestly. But no, I think we've covered it. Oh no, there was one last thing. In the prior episode, we were discussing the Switch and the SteamOS. Do want
Yes.
to quickly address this. There was someone in the comments of that video who did point something out, which they are correct, but we didn't really think it needed mentioning. Yes, the SteamOS and the Switch can be utilized in the way of a desktop system. Whether it would be much use, different story. It can be used at the end of the day. There's no point in saying that it can't. That's all there is to it. It's primarily focused for gaming, and the guy did pull up, yeah, very fair point. Wine and another one I always forget the name of is also used for gaming. Those are more applications rather than the operating system themselves. But because this is more developed by Steam, along with work with some other people who work closely with them for this development, that is the reason we said what we said, and the reason this has been done how it has. So I just want to quickly bring that up, push that away. So there you go. That's the information and the reason we said what we said. I think that sums everything up. I think we've covered everything there.
Very much.
But yeah, I think then we are about done, unless you have anything you'd like to add, sir, on the final
Nothing
part
that
of
I can
episode
think of.
100.
What a day. What a time.
Yeah. So,
Crazy.
with all said and done then, thank you all for supporting us for 100 episodes. Who knows? I think we should be. I think we've got 100 more in us, minimum.
Absolutely. Here's to another 100, man.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's been great. We've had a good laugh. We have a reoccurring supporter now, and that person is fantastic. So yeah, thank you all very, very much for all your support. And if you have enjoyed, feel free to like, follow, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And we will see you all next week. Bye for now, guys.
Here's to 100 more. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next week.